Hi, sweets. Welcome back. I'm Barbie Jean. Today I am sick. I'm really not feeling great. I am just going to answer one question. I'm going to talk about one topic, one fetish, one kink, one lifestyle choice, and that is ABDL, which stands for Adult Baby Diaper Lover. So let's get into it. Welcome to Sweet Release. Adult baby diaper lover is it's so many things. There's so many aspects to it. There's so many ways it can overlap. Adult baby is kind of one side of it, and a diaper lover is kind of the other side. But again, those can overlap, intermix, intersect in many ways. If you're curious about being an adult baby, that means you like role playing, age play. You're curious about tapping into that little energy. I've talked about DDLG before, and that is kind of similar in a way because it's like daddy dom little girl. It's tapping into again to that little energy and having that kind of age play dynamic with your partner or your lover. This is similar. You want to feel like you're a baby or a toddler or whatever it is that feels and resonates with you. There's textures involved, blankets and stuffed animals and then there's toys like pacifiers, bottles, coloring books, maybe you have a journal or maybe you like to read children's books or again it's really just tapping into that little space, that little energy. Similar to people that have their dungeon spaces, people have their little spaces. So maybe you have a corner of the room, or if you have multiple bedroom house, maybe you have a bedroom that's dedicated to your little space. So you have, you might even have a crib. You might even have just like a bunch of blankets, a bunch of stuffed animals, a bunch of toys, like a horse, a rocking horse. I remember going to a house party once that had one of those. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to write that. That looks fun. It's fun to tap into these childlike experiences and play with that playful young energy. And I think that's what's so beautiful about this. And that's what I've tapped into in my experience is, feeling like it's fun to be a kid. It's fun to be a baby. Like, why not do you want to suck on that titty? Why not do you want to suck on that pacifier? For us that have an oral fixation like me, it feels good to play with textures and new things in your mouth. And then it feels very comforting and, it's very relaxing. I know when I'm super stressed or overwhelmed, I love just being held like a baby, love being rocked like a baby. And that is just kind of a small side of this age play or this adult baby energy. And so there's many ways for you to explore it and tap into it and take baby steps. So if you're curious about exploring this adult baby, I think there's so many unique toys to explore. Pacifiers, bottles, teddies, onesies, just blankets, even kids' toys, coloring books. There's so many things like lean into what feels good. And on the other side of it is these diaper lovers. So there's diapers that you can also purchase and explore with. Diaper lovers, some wear and use all day long. Some just wear and use when, again, they want to get into that little space. They want to get into that feeling comforted energy, or they just want to tap into that different role play side of them to, again, infuse this comforting space to de stress after work, to have this opposite kind of dichotomy of life depending on what you do for work. And then a lot of us like to escape and relax and retreat and feel free in other spaces of our lives. It's not always fetishized. So is it erotic to some people? Maybe so, but it could also be just a lifestyle thing. And so it's important to, if you have a partner that is interested in this, if you yourself are interested in tapping into this, if this kind of resonates with you and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I do feel like wearing a diaper would turn me on, or I do feel like, sucking on a pacifier or drinking from a bottle arouses me. Maybe you have an oral fixation. Maybe you're curious about kind of sucking on that titty and having something in your mouth all the time. Maybe that will relax you and make you feel really good. So do that, talk to your partner, think about ways to explore this with yourself. And bringing this up in a conversation with someone that you love or a partner or even yourself, ask yourself these questions or ask them these questions. What is it about it that turns you on, or what is it about this kink um, that you value? What role would your partner take in this? How do you see it showing up in your daily lives? Is it kind of like an all day thing, or is it just this space that you create and that's where you explore? And so this is kind of one of those things for a lot of people where it's like, oh, you have your little space. You have all your blankets and your teddies and your toys and your pacifiers and your lights and your chokers and all of that to make you feel like you're in that baby energy. But again, some of us like to tap into this all day long, and it's it's more of this like ongoing, like just energy that you want to exude in your partnership in your daily life. And so again, just asking these questions, thinking about this yourself before exploring is really important to see like the directions you want to go. And again, I'm a firm believer of baby steps. So please take those baby steps, ask yourself these questions, try to really understand what feels good about it and why, and then, begin exploring. I just started a Amazon influencer page. So if you're curious about exploring some certain products like onesies, like pacifiers and chokers and things that you could use and have to tap into that little energy, I'm going to link that below. I've been even reaching out to some adult babies influencers themselves in hopes to have them on the podcast in the future, just because I have very little experience with this energy. Pacifiers have always been something that I've wanted to purchase and wanted to get myself, but I never have. But I love putting titties in my mouth. I love putting other things in my mouth and ball gags and things like that. And so I do think that if you're curious about sucking on something and playing around with that energy, and get a pacifier, get a bottle, and then like the role play side of it. If you have a partner and you're curious about, again, tapping into this energy, it's not something that you need to do in a sexual setting all the time. It's something that can really feel heartwarming and just comforting in your daily life as well. When I'm feeling really stressed, when I'm feeling really overwhelmed, sometimes I just ask my partner to hold me, to rock me like a baby. And that can feel really good. And then there's moments in the bedroom where it can also feel good. But again, it's understanding those aspects and I think aftercare is a huge part of exploring kinks and fetishes in general, and sometimes even being held like a baby in those moments can really feel fantastic as well. But there's a lot of shame and judgment around this fetish and this lifestyle choice, and I just want to remind you that there's nothing wrong with you. You are not abnormal. You are unique and beautiful. And if you're feeling shame or discomfort around exploring this, remind yourself that it is very common. There are so many influencers, there are so many pages and accounts and toys and things that you can buy in stores. Like I was doing some research about it today, finding some products that I could help you guys with and link to my page. And there's like a whole storefront in Chicago where I'm from with like a big crib and all these toys, and it's just it's a whole adult baby store. So when you are looking for products, don't ever buy like actual baby products. Obviously, like teddies and things like that can, overlap, and you can do some things like that. But there are actually like, type in ABDL products or adult baby, or, find like kink stores that cater to adults, because you want to have something that's big enough for you and that's comfortable and try it out. Again, don't feel shame. We are all unique and different, and I just want you to explore in a safe and consensual environment and feel good doing it. So, thanks again to the person who wanted me to talk a little bit about this. I hope I brought some things to awareness for you, and I hope you learn a little bit about it. I appreciate you guys coming back week after week. As always, thank you so much for your support and your ongoing love. And I'll be back next week with a guest. Talk soon. Much love.